Chris Shandek's C1 review covering Las Vegas and the world. TripleMania, the biggest event for the Mexican wrestling promotion. AAA, of course, a lot of Lucha Libre wrestling. They are coming to Las Vegas on September 11th. And with that being said, they got a venue at the Luxor. Now they're moving to a bigger venue, the MGM Grand Garden Arena. Additional tickets go on sale this coming Tuesday, August 4th. I think for a long time, professional wrestling fans hope that Las Vegas will become more of a pro wrestling city. And obviously with WrestleMania 41 and WrestleMania 42 being here, AEW is here on an ongoing basis. They'll be here again on August 11th, Wednesday, at the Palms Casino Resort. There's just a lot going on in the pro wrestling community, and now AAA, which, gigantic professional wrestling promotion, obviously, that was purchased and acquired by World Wrestling Entertainment back in April of 2025. They're running part of their major event, TripleMania, here in Las Vegas on September 11th, and it's going to be at the MGM Grand Garden Arena. Tickets go on sale again August 4th, this coming Tuesday. The reason to bring this up is because we continue to talk about sports and sports entertainment adjacent, right, being gigantic in this city, and there's no denying that there is a spot for everybody and everything in Las Vegas on the entertainment front and the sports entertainment front as we continue to move along here. The baseball stadium is going to be built. It's going to be finished. There'll be an NBA team soon. But for the pro wrestling front, there's a lot of different alternatives here. You don't like WWE or you don't like WWE adjacent promotions? Well, you can go see AEW, which is, comes to an ongoing basis a couple of times a year to the Palms Casino Resort, right here just west of the Las Vegas Strip. So there's a lot of options for pro wrestling fans. So I just leave you with that thought that, AAA, TripleMania, September 11th, MGM Grand Garden Arena. That is incredible. But also something that you should also take into consideration is there is a gigantic population of people who have Mexican heritage, who live here in Las Vegas, in the Las Vegas Valley, hundreds of thousands. So, and obviously AAA historically, big promotion in the country of Mexico. So I don't think it's that surprising that they sold out all the tickets at the Luxor and they're moving to a bigger venue. Word, takes time to get around about these things that happen. So I'm really not surprised, honestly, that we're going to see, AAA here in Las Vegas and they're going to be in a bigger venue. I remember when they announced the venue and I thought the venue was way too small for this promotion, and I thought, well, they could sell, thousands of tickets to this. This is not some just small thing in general. So I'm really not surprised, again, that we're getting a bigger venue for AAA in Las Vegas coming up on September 11th for the TripleMania promotion, their biggest show of the year. Now I'm going to switch gears a little bit for a moment. For those of you who know, I started out in pro wrestling before we covered everything in celebrities and moved to Las Vegas and all those wonderful things. And my background early in journalism is pro wrestling. But now we're going to talk about something that I've been thinking about for a while, and that's Danhausen. And I'm going to just say this to the people who don't like Danhausen. Again, AEW's in Las Vegas on the 11th. You can watch them on TV if you're not interested in all things WWE right now. There's a lot of alternatives in the world of professional wrestling, and there always will be. I'm just going to leave you with this. Danhausen is the best example of marketing in the world wrestling entertainment in years. Hands down. Danhausen is with Stephen A. Smith. Danhausen is at the New York Knicks playoff games. Of course, it's all a work. He doesn't have magical cursing powers in real life, but he's taking credit for helping the New York Knicks win the NBA championship. Everyone wants him to uncurse their favorite sports teams. He's, with Complex Magazine. He's on ESPN. He has his own ice cream truck leading up to SummerSlam this weekend. The reality of what it comes down to in this regard is what Danhausen has is a gift of being able to do stuff outside of the ring and entertain people beyond in-ring work. The comedy is solid. The timing is perfect. His improv is amazing. You know, the reality of what it comes down to is pro wrestling is not just two, you know, guys with good physiques getting in the ring, or two women who are in great shape as well getting in the ring and facing each other. There is the whole aspect of being able to tell a story through your voice of your character and your mic work. And his mic work is, you know, the top of the companies right now. And the fact is that I can totally tell you that I do follow the headlines in the world of professional wrestling. I do. But I don't watch the product on an ongoing week, basis to basis. But I can tell you, I know who Danhausen is facing every week, and I know what Danhausen is up to, and I know who Danhausen is interacting with, because those clips are getting the most attention online right now in this world that we live in today. He is the best thing that has happened to the world wrestling entertainment in quite a long time, from being able to cross over into mainstream pop culture. And by doing that, then maybe you get those casual people who are then interested in turning into professional wrestling who otherwise would not. It's not just about maintaining the pro wrestling base that you have. It's also about having the ability to bring in new people who are interested. And the reality of what it comes down to at the end of the day is that, you know, he's a fan favorite among the kids, among the adults. He is just beyond entertaining. And it goes back to, if you're a longtime wrestling fan and you think back to the Monday Night Wars and all of the great promos and all the great backstage segments that happened during that time, and so many of them were just absolutely humorous that people would be talking about them the next day. You know, it's been a long time since we've had somebody like Danhausen to truly entertain the general wrestling public. And, you know, the reality is that he's got a unique character, which he created on his own, which existed prior to him coming to World Wrestling Entertainment. So this is his original creation. So, you know, this is an example of how you have to, you know, eat, sleep, and breathe your character and who you are. And the more time you put into that, the more success you're going to have, because you're going to figure out what works and what doesn't work with an audience. But the reason WWE is pushing him so hard is because he's resonating with people in a way that a lot of longtime professional wrestling fans, I think, haven't felt like in a long time. And that is why he is so over, and that is why this is going well, and this is why he, again, is the best marketing that I think the World Wrestling Entertainment has done in many, many years. So those are my 2 cents. I know that there are people who love Danhausen, and they hate Danhausen, but he is the best thing that has happened to the World Wrestling Entertainment in quite a long time. And I think all of us are looking for that humor and comedy in our lives, and he absolutely delivers it. I'm Christianic for CY Interview. Below, you'll see some links to some of our best pro wrestling interviews, and one of our recent interviews is going to come up here. If you like this video, please hit subscribe, and please like this video and let us know what you think in the comment section to keep up with everything we have going on here at CY Interview in Las Vegas and beyond. And I'll see you in the next one.